this is Pallavi. Welcome to you all on Goki, on our show, weekend night show, and good evening. How are you? Say hi. Let's greet each other. Hi, Ravi. So, yeah, guys, I think we are all have, I think 2,500 people have logged in. Not bad. I mean, so many people have taken out time on a special weekend. I mean, weekends are always special, and you have taken out time to learn something about health, sexuality, intimacy, relationships. It's really commendable. So let's start with talking about the India Health Quiz. As you all know that India Health Quiz is there live on Goki, that allows you to win a lot of prizes. I get so excited when I hear prizes. And not just this, I mean, the quiz is so interesting that it can bust like a lot of health myths and get you updated about a lot of health information. So yeah, that was about the quiz. So it is very important, even by the objective of it, that if you are doing the quiz, you would get to know more about health, and it's a very interactive and very nice engaging way. I will say it's not something like, okay, there is a class and you have to learn. It's more about what could be the answer, and then you see, oh hooray, you have actually won, so that you feel really good about it. And yes, this is about the quiz and how do you ensure, like how do you maximize your chances of winning the quiz. So the first thing is you have to have keys to participate in the quiz. It's like opening the lock of the quiz. So you the first time you join Goki, you first time operate, you automatically get some keys, and then you can actually add on keys by being an active Goki user. So walking 6,000 steps and buying on Goki different products on health, and even buying keys straight away by using 200 Goki cash. So that's about the keys. And then you need lives to ensure that you do not get eliminated if you give a wrong answer, because you have to accumulate a lot of points to win the reward. And it can happen that between a quiz, like there are 5 questions and you may get stuck at third question. You have answered 2 questions correctly, and the third question you have like kind of you have not like remembered it, like you have given the wrong answer. So then it's like, okay, now that there is a wrong answer, then what do you do? Then you can use the life. So 1 life you can use in each quiz, and then you can get saved, and then you can actually attempt more questions. So you can get lives by inviting friends to join Goki. So once your friend joins Goki, you get 5 lives at one go. It's that big a number. So your one invited friend joins Goki, you get 5 lives, and then you get 1 more life each time they open the Goki app, and then you get 3 lives if your invited friend plays Goki quiz. So that is about life. And then you have a booster plan. So booster plan is again the second lifeline, which is about 50-50 lifeline. You can also get booster plan as a reward by accumulating required number of points. So the quiz is about to start in 30 seconds, precisely 29 seconds, and please ensure to join quiz on time, because it's a very timely quiz. I mean, you cannot join it at any point. So you have to log on to the Goki play session, like this is the session, and these quizzes are done every half an hour. So from morning 7 a.m. till evening 10 p.m. there are like total of 32 quizzes. So please attempt the most quizzes, be on time. It's right at the beginning of the session. All the best. नमस्ते अनिल, आपने क्विज नहीं किया? इंदुमती, आप अटेम्प्ट नहीं कर रहे हो क्विज? धन्यवाद गौरव जी. नमस्ते अशोक जी। सो हम वेट कर रहे हैं, 3 मिनट के करीब बाकी यूज़र्स क्विज़ कर रहे हैं, हम उनका वेट कर रहे हैं। और आप लोग भी टाइम पे क्विज़ अटेंड कीजिए, बहुत अच्छा मौका है जीतने का, सेलिब्रेशन करने का, सीखने का। तो वेट करते हैं। हाय स्निग्धा। सो हम वेट कर रहे हैं, वी आर स्टिल वेटिंग, देन वी कैन स्टार्ट विद द सेशन. So let's wait for just 2 minutes. It's a very short quiz, very interesting quiz, and you must attempt all, you should also attend the quizzes. Hi Sneha Saish. Just 10 seconds. So we are back here. We'll just wait for 5-10 seconds more. Let's see, everyone has joined and finished the quiz. Hello Adil. So yeah guys, are you back? Those who were attending the quiz, are they back on the session? We are waiting for all of you to share your experience of how many points you scored on the quiz. It's a very real-time quiz. You don't really have to wait for the answers. You get the answers then and there with the reason. I mean, the explanation bit is something that I really like, that it's not just about getting the right question, the answer, but why it is the right answer. Fabulous, Abhishek. 50, I mean 50 is a norm. Everyone is so intelligent here. Really, you are the new experts. Great. Okay, Sunny. Better luck next time. Kulbhushan 50, awesome. Harishji, very good. Hi Azhar. Very well done. So big clap to everyone who has got 50, and those who are near to 50 who have not scored completely. I say that yes, you made an effort, you joined, you answered the question. So yes, Abraham, please be on time. This is always I tell that please keep a track of the countdown. Okay, fabulous. So I think we have been able to celebrate, discuss the importance of quiz, and it's the time to move to our session. Okay, so the session is about tenderness in sex, right? So let's first understand what is tenderness. And most of us say that okay, sex has to be hard, it has to be fast, it has to be fucking, we always think of sex as something as very exciting and stimulating, but tenderness is just the opposite. So when you say something is tender, you kind of believe that something is very soft, something is very delicate, gentle, these all soft feelings. Okay, so why tenderness is important? See, tenderness is not just about being soft, but I'm giving the scientific definition of tenderness as given by Dr. Alex Comfort in his book called Joy of Sex. So tenderness is a constant awareness of how your partner is feeling, plus the knowledge to heighten that feeling by by fastening up, slowing down, being gentle and being rough. Okay, so tenderness is a constant awareness of how your partner is feeling, plus knowledge to heighten that feeling by being gentle, being fast, being slow, or being tough. Okay, so this is the tenderness. And what is the opposite of tenderness? I mean, what doesn't work as tenderness? So heavy-handedness, like really heavy-handedness, that is different from strength. See, when you use a strength, you use your body weight. Okay, so this is my normal body weight, but when I'm like literally applying the force and I'm shaking the other person, maybe they are not very comfortable, so that is called heavy-handedness. Then clumsiness, clumsiness as in you don't know what you're doing. I mean, you are just trying everything, either you are just stressed out, or you are in a rush, or you have a lack of awareness, lack of sense of awareness that okay, how is the other person feeling. So this is about clumsiness, as in not being careless, I will call it as careless. So clumsiness, heavy-handedness, lack of feedback is where you are not asking the other person whether they are liking it or not. You are presuming that whatever you are doing or whatever you are asking, they are like very happy. So in traditional like arranged marriages in villages, maybe where the woman is very shy and the man is more virile and more strengthful, okay, it is presumed that okay, a virgin bride would be very eager to have sex. I mean, that's not true. So if still in India, most of us are getting married for the first time and having sex for the first time. So do we really think it is logical for us to expect that okay, the women they are ready to have sex on the first night? No, it is not. So that is what is about taking feedback. So taking feedback is asking the other person, asking the other party if they are liking it or not. So it's a feedback taking. It's not heavy-handedness like literally grabbing the vagina or grabbing the breast or bending the penis. It also goes for the women. So bending the penis or misplacing some bony anatomy, okay, and fingering the vagina, or these kind of like grabbing the breast. These are the things that are not to be done and that do not come as a tender sex. So I repeat, some of the activities like which call for clumsiness, which is like you don't know and you are not aware about the other person's feelings. So this is like grabbing the breast, grabbing the vagina, bending the penis for women who think that okay, now they are actually doing a hand job or doing oral sex and they actually end up hurting the penis or the balls. Okay, so this is about even fingering the vagina. Okay, so not everything would be like, I mean, I'm not saying that fingering is not good or maybe, but yes, you can start with light touches. Okay, you can start with light touches, and I am not scaring you that okay, you really have to think through when you are touching the other person. See, other person is not made of glass that you will break them. Okay, but yes, a certain kind of softness and certain kind of receptiveness is important, where that okay, you are not just giving but you are also receiving. Okay, it's exchange of information, exchange of energy, exchange of emotions. Okay, so please be constantly aware about how the other person is feeling. You can ask them, I mean, as simple as that is, do not presume that okay, this is what they are liking, because you know, in intimate relationships, when we really love our partners, we don't want to make them feel bad, and sometimes we keep quiet. I mean, it goes both for men and women, but more so for women. So it's good to ask, it's good to ask, it's good to discuss. So that is one thing about tenderness. And again, for women, the problem with them, the women, is that they do not use enough pressure. Okay, so men is like they are not very light touches, but women, they are not using enough pressure, right? So it is like, okay, very gentle, and though a gentle and light touch is also, you know, it's sensational, but some amount of pressure is required. So this is about the women. And yes, most men should know that, you know, women are extremely sensitive and, you know, delicate and gentle beings. So even if you are like lightly brushing the pubic hair, or lightly brushing the, you know, the pubic area, the mons pubis. So pubis, you know, pubis is the female genitalia, and then there is a hair. So some women shave and some women don't shave. So if you are like gently you know, brushing the pubic hair with your fingers, that is like very sensational. Okay, and if you are like just like caressing the mons pubis area, that is also very sensational. So just going for a direct hand grab on the pubis is not recommended. A light touch will work for most of the women, if not for all women. Okay, so that is about the touches. And let's talk about some other things. So you know, we say that there is something called love making, and there is something as called fucking. Okay, so I will just give you an explanation between the difference between the two words, what is love making and what is fucking. So love making is a euphemism. Euphemism is like, what is euphemism? Euphemism is when you are not able to use the direct language. Okay, you are not able to use the direct language for a certain word, then you use a alternate, you know, more flowery language that is more acceptable. So most of us think that sex is something is very hard and very direct word. Okay, it's not a very intimate word, it's not a very civil word, it's not a polite word. I mean, most of us have come to think of sex like that. So they like more the word used as love making. Okay, so they think that okay, if I use love making, making love with a person is like, okay, most of us are fine with this word. You know, if you have to choose what would you choose between love making and sex, you will say okay, I will go for love making. That sounds more fine, okay, more refined. So but you know, I have tried to actually put in the tenderness. So not just the use of language, like it's a more better sounding word, but also the relevance behind the word. When you say love, okay, so is the person interested in you just as a body, or he is interested in you as a person? Okay, so is it just that, is it that he is just trying to fill his sexual urges from you, or is it that he is looking for you, you know, as a connection? Okay, so sex is something where we say that okay, sex is pure sex, you know, it's a physical sex. But when you include love making, it is more of the you know, it's a connection, it's a connecting sex. So in sex, we say that okay, you are more, if you just want to have sex with a person, you are just centered on your own self, okay, your own release, your own you know, pleasure. But when you say love making, the orientation, I mean, your orientation is also on the other person. It's equally, if not more, that how she is feeling or how he is feeling. Okay, so it includes tender emotions. So when I say love making and sex, sex is a physical act, and when we say love making, it is also about the tender emotions, okay, the exchange of energy. So by this I'm not saying that okay, people who just want to have sex, as in sex, it's something immoral or wrong. It's not true. I mean, sex is a hunger, you know, most of us, it's a very basic need. And if you want to fulfill that sexual need with a person, I mean plain sexual need, I don't want to get involved emotionally, it is okay as as you know, as long as there is no manipulation and misleading involved. Okay, so if you are actually getting someone to have sex with you by manipulating them, through use of alcohol, or maybe pressurizing them because they have come to your flat and you are insisting, so subtle kind of insistence, forced insistence. And misleading is when you make a fake promise, or you say that okay, I love you, but you don't really love them, right? So if that is not there, and both adults know that okay, this is something we are coming together to fulfill our sexual needs, it's fine as long as both are on the same page. Okay, so that is about pure sex. And please understand that when we say love and sex, so many a times it is for, what happens is one of the partners get carried away in the intimate moment. Okay, so these days we are actually having casual sex, so a lot of times one partner would just say in the heat of the moment that I love you, but that doesn't mean I love you. It's just being carried away in the moment and just saying it. It's not the real love. So you have to distinguish between the pure true expression of love and something is said in the heat of the moment, like that is just it's just something as you just said it. Okay, you didn't mean it. So you will actually get to know in the next morning where the person still means that they love you or not. So don't get carried away when someone is just telling I love you in while kissing. Okay, so you have to wait, and you have to see that whether they actually mean it or not, like whether they are actually emotionally involved with you or not. Okay, now that's about the difference between sex and love making. Let's talk about some of the cues that how you would be really knowing that if the person is just physically interested in you or not. For women, okay, so women, you can actually get to know by the way the guy kisses you first. That first kiss can tell you whether the guy is sexually interested in you or he's emotionally invested in you. So if it's a lingering kiss on the lips for a while, lingering kiss just on the lips for a while, that is a kind of you can say that okay, he is going for the connection, but it is all tongue right away, all tongue, he's just inserting the tongue into your mouth in the first go. That is clearly prohibited. For men, please, if you're really dating a girl and you want to build a long-term connection with her, never ever slide your tongue down her mouth in the first kiss. That is also a rule of Kama Sutra. So Kama Sutra also says that in our first kiss we should never move the tongue beyond our teeth. Like this is the teeth, so tongue should not go beyond the teeth. So that's about the kiss. Let's see the questions. Adil is saying, I'm going to marry in coming 3 months and I'm held. Why are you nervous, Adil? Let's talk. This is a session, so tenderness is something most women would like, a man who is tender with them, who knows how to sense what she wants, because she is most of the times, like I said, someone said on this group that women are shy, so they are not very much explicit. See, it is not by nature but by nurture. Okay, most of the women are still raised in a way where they are not very vocal about their sexual needs, though it is something that everyone likes. So maybe because men are more groomed or to be more vocal, so yes, you can actually take a lead and maybe get to her insecurities, get to her hesitations, get to her doubts and fears about having sex for the first time. If you are nervous, I'm sure she is also nervous. She is also thinking that okay, I'm going to get married, and then there would be wedding blues and first night. They do have these insecurities, not always with the man. The woman is also in the same situation. Okay, so please talk about your insecurities, fears here. Yes, Sumit, sex is always consensual. Okay, I think yeah. So no more questions. Indian many girls, they don't cooperate in sex. So Sumit, you have to take time. See, women are like water. Water takes time to boil, but once it gets boiled, it will take a long time to cool down. Okay, so you can actually talk it out. Also believe in, not sex is not just act, but it is as much as communication. So maybe talk about it, maybe talk about the touches, the subtle touches, the strokes. So I'm going to tell you some positions also here that is like they are kind of non-penetrative, and they are like really building intimacy. Okay, so please have the be attentive. So this is about the sex and love making. Abhijit, I'm going to tell you some positions, so please wait. Yeah, now if the other person wants to know you, so like I said that pure sex is where there is just a exchange of sexual energy, but there is no exchange of spirit, like spirituality, the emotional aspects, the fears, the inner world of the person. So when you are saying that there is an outer world, okay, most of us have an outer world and an inner world. So in like sex there is no talk about the inner world, it's all about the body. But when you say love making, it is also about the inner world of the person. Is the person willing to reveal his wounds, reveal his fears, reveal his frustrations with you or not? So is he able to naked his soul or not? Shedding clothes is still easy, okay, but making your soul naked is still difficult. So see, tenderness is also brought forth when you are able to reveal or disclose the some things that you have like tightly kept inside your heart. Okay, so it is about tenderness. And let's talk about what kind of person would be a tender person. See, a person who would be a tender person would be a person who is attuned to the feelings of the other person, like I said before. So it doesn't mean that okay, there has to be some connection in the inner mind. Okay, so inner mind of both the people, inner hearts of both the people, there has to have some connection. If a person is just making love and turning his back and checking his mobile, that's not about the sharing of the inner world. So inner world is like inner state of mind. Okay, so inner state of mind, both people are able to share some aspect of their inner state of mind, inner state of life, right, inner state of being, which is like, okay, I as a Pallavi, maybe you all know me as a intimacy coach, but I am a mother, I'm a single mother. So there are a lot of aspects in my life that not many people know, but someone who is really close to me would know a lot of things about me. So that is about building the connection, and it is also leading to tenderness, because only a person who is really keen about you will be tender in love, otherwise it will not matter to them. Okay, or maybe they are not so informed, and maybe they are not like careless. That could be other reasons also, but the main reason is being attuned to how you are feeling, attuned to the person inside. Now let's talk about intimate moments outside the bedroom. Okay, so we often say that intimacy has to happen in the bedroom, but we can also have intimacy outside the bedroom that will translate into the success in the bedroom. So maybe reaching your arms around the partner's face. So maybe your partner is cooking. For men who think that their sex life is going downside spiral, so you can actually use these tips to build intimacy outside the bedroom, because women they are quite how to say, they are quite repulsive when it comes to demanding sex. Okay, so they think that okay, why intimacy always has to start in the bedroom? I mean, the moment lights are off, the husband wants to be intimate. So please build intimacy outside the bedroom also, like like just I'm showing by the hand, so like this. Okay, so reaching your arms around your partner's waist when maybe she's cooking, or giving a squeeze when she's working, like giving a squeeze like this. It's just a very subtle touch. Okay, so like wrapping the waist of the partner with your arm, and giving a quiz when he or she is working on involved in some other things, or holding hands when you are walking. Okay, so holding hands when you're taking a stroll in the garden or walking in the park, right? So this is like building intimacy outside the bedroom. And most women do like these kind of endearing touches, because see, a lot of women have said me that why their husbands only demand intimacy when the lights are shut or when they are about to make sex. It can be also otherwise. Let's take the questions. How to get out of hangover unexpectedly? I'm drunk. I went to you are talking about, see, that's Syed, I will not be able to answer. That's something like outside the intimacy. Maybe you can check with the doctor if you think that you are addicted to drinking. Males are more expressive socially and culturally. They are made to, like I said, that it is not that women are not expressive. Women can be as horny as men, but socially and culturally women are inhibited to express their sexual desires. Right, Gaurav? How can I do sex with my girlfriend? Amit, well, you should first start with the touching. So just do not just jump into sex straightforwardly. First build that comfort level. So building that comfort level is knowing her body, exploring her body, knowing what she likes. Has she ever masturbated? You can actually have these talks. Maybe just have a talk, so that actually helps in breaking the ice, breaking the sexual ice. Like, you are so frozen that okay, you're asking this question, but once you get into the talk mode, then it's not too difficult to get into the act mode. Okay, now let's talk about some positions that can help build tenderness in sex and intimacy in sex. So spooning is one of the positions where both people lie on their side and one person is the bigger spoon and one person is the little spoon. Okay, so the little spoon can pleasure themselves from the front by using a vibrator, using their own hands, or the big spoon is actually using so the big spoon is like this and the little spoon is like this. Okay, you know about spooning, the spooning position, and it is very tender and arousing, and the big spoon can stroke the little spoon's tummy and breast to reinforce the connection. Okay, and the little spoon can also touch the butt of the big spoon from her hands, like back. Okay, so this position, the spooning position, is very, very nurturing and intimacy building position. Okay, so this is about spooning position. Let's talk about the second position, which is called yub and yum. Yub and yum position, I cannot tell you how much empowering, incredible. Okay, so tantra is a path of spirituality, and yub and yum is a tantra position. So it is like it brings in compassion. So tantra position is like, how do I explain? So maybe the man is sitting cross-legged. So right now I'm sitting cross-legged. Okay, palthi maar ke baithna jise kehte hain. So man is sitting cross-legged and the woman is like sitting on the lap of the man and facing face to face. Okay, so the woman and the man are facing like each other, and the woman is sitting on the lap of the man and her legs are wrapped around the man's waist. Okay, so this is a yub and yum position. Both man and woman are facing each other. Both man and women are facing each other. The man is sitting cross-legged and the woman is sitting on the lap of the man and her legs are wrapped around the back of the man, and eyes should be closed. Okay, eyes should be closed, and place one hand each on the other's heart. So maybe my right hand will be placed on the man's heart and the man's left hand will be placed like this. Okay, so if this is a man, so place one hand each on each other's hearts. So this is about the building the connection between Shiva and Shakti. So this is the gender polarity. Okay, gender polarity. So building the masculine and the feminine connection. This position is a very important primordial position. It is called, like, it's a very primal instinct when we sit like this to our caregivers. And yes, the eye to eye connect has to not be there. You have to just close your eyes when you are sitting in a yub and yum position and focus on the breath. Focus on matching the breath. Like when you inhale, take a pause, and then when you exhale, take a pause. So which means that you are building that stillness. Okay, two people coming together in stillness. So matching your breaths, eyes should be closed, place one hand on each other's hearts and continue focusing on the breath. Okay, this is about Yum and Yum position. It's very important. You can actually read, I mean it's very popular. I mean, if you are not able to see the, I would love to show you some visualizations, but we need a partner. I mean, I would need a partner to show, but yes, you can actually read more about Yum and Yum position. Please try this with your partner. I cannot say your sex life will go for it, like it will really bounce back. Okay, now let's talk about some other things that can build intimacy, like tenderness in the sex. Undressing. So undressing is like one partner undressing the other, or we are just doing undressing ourselves. Undressing, like removing the clothes before we have sex. So if both people are undressing each other, that builds the connection. Okay, and maybe you can ask the woman, you can actually ask him to unclasp your bra, or the men can deliberately unclasp her bra. So that is like, it's just kind of revealing and inviting gesture, okay, before you move on to the sex. Okay, so it's just about teasing and flirting and okay, thanks Devin, I feel really blushing up. So yeah, and deliberately unclasping the bra, that is again like, it's teasing. Okay, it's like seducing. See, sex is 90% seduction, 10% sex. So this is about seduction, is when you are teasing her. When you undress each other, that is about teasing, and that is about inviting without even actually going into the sex. So do this undressing, tenderness in undressing. Now let's talk about orgasm. So how orgasms can be made tender? Maintain the eye contact. It's the biggest secret, I think most people don't know, because see, we are so much sexually shamed that we close our eyes like no, the woman is closing the eyes, the man is looking here and there. No, you have to have a direct eye contact, direct looking into each other's eye. That is like, that builds a lot of soulfulness and depth into the sex. So maintain the eye contact. Okay, and breathe slowly and deeply. Okay, breathe slowly and deeply, and synchronize your breaths. Synchronize your breaths means you both inhale at the same time and you both exhale at the same time. So synchronizing your breath is like synchronizing your sexual energies. That also is very empowering and incredible. Okay, let's talk about some props. Props is in some props, some things, how things can actually increase the sensuality and the tenderness in sex. So you can use some props that can help you magnify your sensation. Magnifying sensation means that restricting one sense. We have 5 senses. Okay, we have 5 senses, like we can touch, we can see, we can smell, we can hear, and we can smell. Okay, so this is about touching, seeing, hearing, smelling and tasting. So these are the 5 senses. So magnifying one sense means restricting one sense and increasing the intensity of the other sense. So when you take, so that is why you say that it's so very unfortunate about the blind people, but you could see that the most blind people have like very high sense of other senses, like they have really developed senses, because their one sense is like it has been withheld. So when you are withholding one sense, when you are restricting one sense, your other senses get magnified. So sex is also about interplay of the senses, like how you can increase and decrease the sensations. So blindfolding. So once you blindfold the person, like you tie a ribbon or a scarf on their eyes, and then you give them a languorous oral sex, or maybe a massage, or maybe some sultry surprises. So these are ways where you can actually increase the sensation, because they are not able to see, so their sensation of touch has increased. Okay, so languorous oral sex, nice massage, sultry surprises, like drizzling cold water or an ice cube on the tummy of the woman, right, and then slowly licking the ice cube, like licking the water around the ice that is like splashed by the ice cube. Okay, so this is ways. Then you can also set up the mood. You know, setting up the mood is very important. Ambience is so important. Like most of us have actually sex in the LED lights. LED light, like this light, is like very much damaging to the senses. It's a very harsh penetrating light. So use lamps, use earth lamps, use candles, use incense sticks, use a very light meditating music, have a very nice white color floral printed bed sheet. So these are the things you can actually change the ambience of the room. So Osho has said that make your bedroom a love temple, right? So love temple, like you actually, when you enter the temple, you are like aroused, you know, you are just captivated. I won't say aroused, but I will, sorry, that was the wrong word. So captivated, you are captivated, you are enthralled, like, oh my god, what a beauty, right? This is how you feel like temple. So love is also worshipping. So build that ambience inside your room. Okay, so lighting, like natural lighting is very important. Candle lighting, not these, you know, flashy lights, electricity bulbs, no, that are not like very good for the skin. So use natural lights, use fragrances, natural fragrances, have some oil wick lamps, play a nice meditative music in the background. That's about setting up the mood in a very sensual way. So those men who think that their wives are not cooperating, don't just attempt sex in a like very, you know, this is a very modern manner. I won't like it even. So maybe create an ambience, light some candles, okay, light some incense sticks, play some meditative music, and just touch. Spend that night touching. Have a very wonderful prelude to the actual sex. Okay, how to control not to reach soon at the final stage? Sandeep, you can slow down your breath. Breathe जो है सांस लेना कहते हैं, उसको slow down कीजिए when you are penetrating. So on a scale of 1 to 10, so this is called a pleasure scale. कि अगर आपका pleasure scale 0 से लेके 10 तक होता है, जहाँ पे 0 तब होता है जब आप start करते हो, 10 तब का होता है जब आपका ejaculation होता है. तो जब आप scale उस measurement पे आप 6 पे आते हो, you know, 6. So when you come at the level 6 as per your own pleasure scale, so it differs. My pleasure scale would be different, your pleasure scale will be different. So as per your pleasure scale, when you reach the point 6, slow down and slow down the breath. So penetration भी आप कर रहे हो तो उसको slow down कर दो, और breathe को भी slow down करो, deep breathing करो. So that is a way you can actually master your ejaculation. Okay, and you can also do Uddiyani Bandha. Uddiyani Bandha is a yoga posture, it's a yogasana. Uddiyani Bandha is very helpful. लोअर बॉडी एक्सरसाइजेज होते हैं, पेल्विक एक्सरसाइज होते हैं, हिप एक्सरसाइज होते हैं, जहाँ पे आप अपनी जो मसल्स होती हैं जिससे यूरिन होता है, लाइक द मसल्स दैट आर यूज्ड फॉर यू नो लाइक रिलीजिंग यूरिन, यू constrain those muscles. So by doing these exercises you can able to last longer. So Uddiyani Bandha, so you can do Uddiyani Bandha. Okay, गुरजिंदर ने क्या क्वेश्चन पूछा है? गुरजिंदर आपका क्वेश्चन नहीं दिख रहा मुझे. हाँ, एक मिनट, आपने रिमाइंडर भेजा है. व्हेन आई हैव एलर्जी देन आई एम शेकिंग पेनिस, मैस्टरबेशन बिकॉज ऑफ एलर्जी. वेल गुरजिंदर, एलर्जी कैन बी बिकॉज ऑफ मेनी रीजन्स. आई विल recommend you to see a sexologist for this, because it seems to be something where there could be a medical intervention required, so you may please do that. Okay guys, so thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for making out time for this session. Be the force, be empowered, be sexually educated. Sex is very nice, it's pleasurable, it's intimate, and it's a very important part of life, and intimacy is important also. Intimacy is a larger part of sex. So I just hope and wish all the best for your relationships, and I just wish from दिल से कि आप खुश रहें, स्वस्थ रहें और मस्ती में रहें. ओके, सो गुड नाइट.